Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, all my fellow war lovers and medieval mystery fans, hit the bell icon to be notified every upload. Thank you and enjoy. Warships have undergone significant transformations over the past 4 centuries, evolving from oar-powered galleys to today's advanced naval vessels equipped with cutting-edge technology. Galleys, the early warships. In the 17th century, galleys were the dominant warships, particularly in the Mediterranean. These vessels were long, narrow, and primarily propelled by rows of oarsmen, allowing for swift and agile movements during close combat situations. Their primary tactic involved ramming enemy ships to cause maximum damage. However, their design limitations made them less effective in rougher seas, restricting their operational range. The Age of Sail, emergence of sailing warships. With advancements in sail technology, the 16th century saw the rise of sailing warships. These ships relied on wind power, eliminating the need for large crews of rowers and allowing for longer voyages. The development of naval artillery led to ships being armed with multiple cannons, transforming naval warfare by enabling engagements at greater distances. Tactics evolved to maximize the broadside capabilities of these ships, leading to the dominance of the ship-of-the-line formations. Ironclads and the advent of steam power. The 19th century introduced steam power to naval vessels, marking a significant shift from sail to steam propulsion. The introduction of ironclad warships such as the French La Gloire and the British HMS Warrior revolutionized naval warfare. These ships featured iron armor plating, providing enhanced protection against explosive shells and rendering traditional wooden ships obsolete. The transition to steam power allowed ships to maneuver independently of wind conditions, offering strategic advantages in naval engagements. The Dreadnought era, battleships, take center stage. The early 20th century witnessed the emergence of the Dreadnought battleship, epitomized by the British HMS Dreadnought. Launched in 1906, this new class of battleship featured uniform, large-caliber guns, and steam turbine propulsion, setting a new standard in naval power. The Dreadnought's design rendered previous battleship classes obsolete and sparked a global naval arms race. These heavily armored ships played pivotal roles in World War I naval battles, such as the Battle of Jutland. Aircraft carriers and submarines, redefining naval warfare. World War II marked a turning point with the rise of aircraft carriers and submarines. Aircraft carriers became the new capital ships, projecting air power over vast distances and playing decisive roles in battles like Midway. Submarines, particularly German U-boats, introduced stealth and surprise into naval tactics, threatening both military and commercial vessels. The ability to launch aircraft and torpedoes from these platforms fundamentally changed naval strategies and the nature of maritime engagements. Modern warships, technological marvels. Today's warships are equipped with advanced technologies, including guided missiles, radar systems, and nuclear propulsion. The introduction of stealth technology and automation has further enhanced their capabilities. Modern naval vessels, such as destroyers, frigates, and submarines, are designed for multi-role missions, from power projection to humanitarian assistance. The continuous evolution of naval technology ensures that warships remain integral to national defense and global maritime security. The journey from galleys to modern warships reflects centuries of innovation and adaptation, highlighting the relentless pursuit of maritime dominance and technological superiority. Sources: the French Navy, known as La Royale, has a storied history of innovation and maritime prowess, evolving over centuries to become one of the world's leading naval forces. From the Age of Sail to the modern era, France has continually adapted its naval strategies and technologies to maintain its status on the global stage. The Age of Sail and early innovations. In the 17th century, France's naval power was embodied by the galley, a vessel propelled primarily by oarsmen. These ships were designed for close-quarter combat, relying on speed and maneuverability to ram enemy vessels. However, their effectiveness was limited by weather conditions and the need to stay close to shorelines. As naval warfare evolved, the introduction of cannons necessitated changes in ship design. The development of gun ports allowed cannons to be mounted lower in the hull, enhancing stability and firepower. This innovation led to the dominance of sailing ships with broadside artillery, capable of engaging enemies at greater distances. Transition to steam and ironclads. The 19th century marked a pivotal shift with the advent of steam power and ironclad ships. France led the way by launching Napoleon in 1850, the world's first purpose-built steam-powered battleship. Designed by Henri Dupuy de Lome, Napoleon combined steam propulsion with traditional sail, achieving speeds up to 14 knots and signaling a new era in naval engineering. Following this, France introduced Gloire in 1859, the first ocean-going ironclad warship. Armored with iron plating, Gloire rendered wooden warships obsolete and prompted navies worldwide to adopt armored vessels. Technological advancements in the 20th century. Throughout the 20th century, the French Navy continued to innovate. The Suffren-class frigates, introduced in the 1960s, exemplified advancements in missile technology and electronic warfare systems. These vessels were equipped with Mazurka surface-to-air missiles, 100mm naval guns, and Malafon anti-submarine missiles, showcasing France's commitment to modernizing its fleet. The modern fleet and strategic capabilities. Today, the French Navy operates a diverse array of vessels, including the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle. Commissioned in 2001, Charles de Gaulle serves as the flagship of the French fleet, capable of deploying a mix of Rafale M fighter jets, E-2C Hawkeye surveillance aircraft, and helicopters. This carrier enhances France's ability to project power globally, participating in various international operations and exercises. Courier mail. In recent years, France has focused on strengthening its naval presence in strategic regions. The deployment of Charles de Gaulle to the Indo-Pacific and joint exercises with allies underscore France's commitment to regional stability and freedom of navigation. Additionally, France's defense industry continues to innovate, developing advanced technologies such as electromagnetic guns and autonomous drones to address emerging maritime threats. Courier Mail Le Monde. Global collaborations and defense initiatives. France actively engages in defense collaborations to enhance its naval capabilities and those of its allies. For instance, Greece's decision to procure Belhara frigates equipped with advanced missile systems from France reflects the strengthening of defense ties within Europe. Moreover, France's agreements with countries like Indonesia to bolster defense cooperation highlight its role in promoting security and stability in various regions. Conclusion. The French Navy's evolution from oared galleys to nuclear-powered aircraft carriers illustrates a legacy of adaptation and technological advancement. By embracing innovation and fostering international partnerships, France continues to maintain a formidable and versatile naval force, prepared to address the complexities of modern maritime security. Constructing a 17th century warship was a monumental endeavor, requiring meticulous craftsmanship and an intricate understanding of naval architecture. The process began with laying the keel, the ship's backbone, onto which wooden frames, resembling ribs connected to a sternum, were attached. These frames defined the hull shape, which was broader than that of earlier galleys. This design choice prioritized the effective distribution of the substantial weight of artillery over hydrodynamic efficiency. To ensure resilience against cannon fire, the spacing between frames was deliberately less than the diameter of a cannonball. Once the framework was in place, craftsmen affixed long wooden planks along the hull's exterior, extending from the keel to the upper deck. Additional reinforcement came from an internal layer known as the ceiling. Collectively, these components formed a hull that could be up to a meter thick, aptly termed the wall. This robust structure was then pierced with gun ports, strategically positioned 2.4 meters apart in a checkerboard pattern to maintain hull integrity. The significance of precise gun port placement is underscored by the tragic fate of the Swedish warship Vasa. On August 10, 1628, during its maiden voyage, Vasa capsized in Stockholm harbor due to instability caused by gun ports positioned too low. This disaster resulted in the loss of approximately 30 lives and highlighted the critical importance of proper weight distribution and stability in ship design. After approximately a year in the shipyard, the hull was launched, marking the transition to the fitting out phase. This stage involved installing masts, sails, and rigging. Masts could reach heights of 30 meters, comparable to a 10-story building. To facilitate their installation, shipbuilders employed towering masting machines, some as tall as 70 meters. These structures, composed of large masts bound together with ropes, enabled the vertical placement of the lower sections of the masts, which were then augmented with upper segments reinforced with iron rings before the sails were attached. The total sail area directly influenced the ship's speed, a crucial factor in naval engagements. As ships grew larger and bore more artillery, they required more expansive sails to achieve greater speeds. Sails were categorized into two main types: large, rectangular, or trapezoidal sails primarily used for propulsion, and smaller triangular or square sails utilized for maneuvering. Fully rigged, these heavily armed vessels could attain speeds of up to 9 knots, approximately 17 kilometers per hour, surpassing the speed of galleys by 30%. The construction of such formidable ships demanded the expertise of around 100 craftsmen over a span of 18 months. Each vessel was unique, as master shipbuilders closely guarded their trade secrets, passing down their specialized knowledge through multiple generations. This tradition ensured that the art and science of shipbuilding evolved while maintaining proven techniques. The substantial investment required for these ships necessitated stringent construction standards to ensure excellence. French arsenals in Toulon, Brest, Rochefort, and Lorient played pivotal roles in developing new technical solutions and training elite shipbuilders. They utilized detailed scale models, often at a 1-to-10 ratio, serving as three-dimensional training tools to instruct master shipbuilders and simulate the effects of wind on sails. In 1765, the establishment of the School of Maritime Engineering in France marked a significant advancement. This institution trained engineers who replaced traditional shipbuilders, employing mathematical precision and detailed drawings, thus ushering in modern naval architecture. A notable outcome of these advancements was the development of the 74-gun ship of the line, exemplified by the French vessel Téméraire, launched in 1749. Designed by François Coulon and built at Toulon, Téméraire measured approximately 57 meters in length and 15 meters in width, with its tallest mast reaching 85 meters. This class of ship struck an optimal balance between firepower and nautical performance, becoming the quintessential battleship of its era. Weighing around 2,950 tons, Téméraire was powered by over 40 sails covering a total area of 2,600 square meters, equivalent to 6 basketball courts, enabling it to reach speeds of up to 11 knots, 20 kilometers per hour. Its exceptional maneuverability provided a decisive advantage in combat, especially during complex maneuvers such as tacking. The evolution of warship construction during the 17th and 18th centuries reflects a period of significant technological and strategic transformation. The transition from oar-powered galleys to heavily armed sailing ships with robust hulls and sophisticated rigging systems underscores the advancements in naval engineering and the increasing importance of naval power in global affairs. Sources in the early 19th century, naval warfare underwent significant transformations, particularly in ship design and artillery advancements. One notable innovation was the carronade, a short-barreled cannon developed by the Carron Company in Scotland around 1778. Unlike traditional long guns, carronades were lighter, required smaller crews, and were devastating at short range, making them ideal for merchant ships and warships alike. The carronade's design featured a shorter barrel and used less gunpowder, resulting in reduced recoil and quicker loading times. This efficiency allowed ships to carry more carronades without compromising stability. However, their shorter range meant that ships equipped solely with carronades were vulnerable to opponents with longer-range artillery. The introduction of the carronade marked a shift in naval tactics, emphasizing close-quarters combat. Its ability to deliver powerful broadsides at short distances made it a formidable weapon during engagements. However, as naval warfare evolved, the emphasis shifted towards longer-range engagements, leading to the decline of the carronade in favor of more versatile artillery. Another significant advancement in naval artillery was the development of flintlock firing mechanisms. Introduced during the American War of Independence, flintlocks replaced traditional matchlock systems, allowing for higher rates of fire and greater accuracy. This innovation enabled gun captains to choose the exact moment of firing, enhancing the effectiveness of naval broadsides. The evolution of naval tactics during this period also saw the formalization of battle formations. Paul Hoste, a Jesuit priest and naval tactician, produced one of the first major works on naval tactics in 1697. His treatise detailed various orders of sailing and emphasized the importance of fleet formations in achieving tactical superiority. These advancements in ship design, artillery, and tactics collectively transformed naval warfare, setting the stage for the modern naval strategies employed today. On the late 18th century, the disparity between the British and French navies was not solely due to technological differences but also significantly influenced by human resources. The British Royal Navy boasted a larger pool of experienced sailors and a more extensive fleet, establishing itself as the dominant maritime force of the era. In response, France sought to bridge this gap by investing heavily in technological advancements, aiming to counterbalance Britain's numerical superiority. One of the pivotal figures in this technological push was Henri-Joseph Péhance, a distinguished French artillery officer and graduate of the École Polytechnique. In 1822 to 1823, Péhance revolutionized naval warfare by developing the first naval guns capable of firing explosive shells along flat trajectories. These péchant guns, or cannon obusiers, combined the destructive power of explosive ordnance with the range and accuracy of traditional cannons. The devastating effect of these shells against wooden ships was first demonstrated during trials in 1824, where they successfully broke up the two-decker Pacificateur. By 1841, the French Navy had begun integrating these formidable weapons into their fleets, prompting other major naval powers, including Britain, Russia, and the United States, to follow suit. The efficacy of Paichan's innovation was dramatically showcased during the Battle of Sinop in 1853, where the Russian Navy employed explosive shells to annihilate a Turkish fleet. This engagement underscored the obsolescence of traditional wooden warships and accelerated the development of ironclad vessels as a necessary countermeasure. Building upon these advancements, French naval architect Henri Dupuy de Lome designed the Gloire, launched in 1859 as the world's first ocean-going ironclad warship. Measuring approximately 78 meters in length and 17 meters in width, the Gloire featured a wooden hull sheathed with 110 to 120 millimeters thick wrought iron armor, providing robust protection against explosive shells. This design marked a significant departure from traditional wooden ships and set a new standard in naval architecture. The introduction of the Gloire prompted other nations to reevaluate their naval capabilities. The British Royal Navy, recognizing the shift in naval warfare, responded by commissioning the HMS Warrior in 1860, the first iron-hulled warship. This development signified the beginning of an arms race in naval engineering, with ironclad ships becoming the new benchmark for naval superiority. The transition from sail to steam power further transformed naval operations. The adoption of steam engines allowed ships to operate independently of wind conditions, providing consistent speed and maneuverability. However, early steam-powered vessels faced challenges, such as the vulnerability of external paddle wheels to enemy fire and the logistical demands of coal storage. The development of the propeller, positioned below the waterline, mitigated some of these vulnerabilities and became the standard for warship propulsion. These technological innovations, driven by the need to counterbalance human resource disparities, reshaped naval warfare in the 19th century. France's strategic focus on technological advancement allowed it to challenge British naval dominance, leading to a period of rapid development in warship design and armament that forever altered the landscape of maritime conflict. Sources: in the mid-19th century, naval architecture underwent a significant transformation with the introduction of the ironclad warship, exemplified by the French vessel Gloire. Designed by Henri Dupuy de Lome and launched in 1859, Gloire was the world's first ocean-going ironclad, marking a departure from traditional wooden warships. To accommodate the added weight of iron armor, Gloire featured a continuous deck, eliminating the traditional forecastle and aftcastle. This design housed all guns under an armored deck, resulting in a single gun deck configuration that led to its classification as an armored frigate. Gloire's armament consisted of 36 Modèle 1800, 64,7 mm rifled muzzle-loading guns arranged along the length of the hull in a broadside configuration. These guns could be aimed across a wide arc, enhancing the ship's offensive capabilities. In addition to its sails, Gloire was equipped with a steam engine producing over 2,500 horsepower, enabling speeds of up to 13 knots, approximately 24 kilometers per hour. This combination of sail and steam power provided greater maneuverability and operational flexibility. The success of Gloire and its class prompted other naval powers to develop their own ironclad warships, sparking a technological race in naval warfare. This evolution led to the development of more advanced ironclads and, eventually, the emergence of the dreadnought battleships in the early 20th century. The introduction of the British HMS Dreadnought in 1906 revolutionized naval warfare with its uniform main battery of heavy-caliber guns and steam turbine engines, rendering previous battleship designs obsolete. The Gloire's innovative design and capabilities marked a pivotal moment in naval history, transitioning fleets from wooden sailing ships to armored, steam-powered vessels and setting the stage for modern naval warfare.